Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another power-packed episode of the ET Insights. In an era where over 70% of organizations worldwide endure major disruptions annually, resilience has become the true currency of long-term leadership. In this episode, we will have a conversation where we sit down with Deepak Singh, President and CEO of Gorisco Group. And what we'll do is decode what it really takes to build organizations that don't just survive uncertainty, but stay agile, aligned, and future-ready. From strengthening governance foundations to elevating crisis readiness in a world of rising cyber and geopolitical risks, the discussion opens up as a deeper lens on how modern enterprises can stay unshakable in a perpetually shifting landscape. Thank you very much, Deepak, for joining us on this episode of the ET Insights.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Let's dive right into the conversation and begin with understanding resilience, because that's a large part of what you do. Organizational resilience has become a boardroom phrase, yet many leaders today still interpret it very narrowly as continuity planning and as risk mitigation, but not the overarching gamut of things. How would you explain organizational resilience to a business leader hearing the term for the first time possibly? And why is it particularly critical in today's unpredictable environment?
Okay. See, I don't think the issue is with them going to hear this word first time. I mean, if it's a leader of any organization across the board, they would definitely have heard this word organizational resilience. Now, the bigger challenge is another. What happens is the way they have understood organizational resilience is different. Most of them have tried to see resilience as something related to continuity, that if something happens, something disrupts, how do you recover that? That's not resilience, right? That is a lower level. Resilience at the higher level. In resilience, what happens is you make your foundation of the organization, processes, systems, people so matured that even if there is a disruption or a crisis, your prioritized important critical functions of the organization will not even stop. That is because you have gone to that level of maturity, that you have made all these things so strong that it won't even stop your operation. That is what is organizational resilience, right? So different from continuity, right, where something happens, disrupts, then you recover. Here it will not even disrupt your critical operations, right? Now, for the leaders to understand, it is important that they should consider this as an opportunity, how to sort of transform their challenges into opportunities, right? If you handle the organizational resilience well, you can actually do that. Now, how do we do? So, if you consider organizational resilience, it talks about first you try to anticipate the risk, the threats and all those things. Once you know, you try to protect them. That can I be not getting impacted by this particular incident, right? That should be the first focus, right? So if your systems are fine, then that would happen. But everything might not be in your control. So what happens is, so if you're not able to protect yourself against that, then is the next stage. If it happens, then how do you withstand that? How do you handle that? How do you respond to that situation, right? That is next level. And all of these you do because, there is a lot of opportunity. Like we often talk that any crisis situation can be actually something that can boost your reputation, the way you have handled that crisis, right? So that's an opportunity that can be looked at. Now, when we talk about these things, I mean, why it is important? Because today with all the geopolitical issues that you see, cybersecurity threats, right? The various type of challenges that is happening for the organization, it's very important that they need to have something that they think that this is my savior. So if organizations or the leaders today are not focusing on organizational resilience, then I would say that they are not just risking their profit and revenue, they are risking the existence of their organization, right? Which is very important. In a business is what? It has to continue, right? Whenever we talk about the marketing classes or, all the business classes, we talk business is an ongoing activity, right? So we have to ensure that we become so mature that we do not even stop the critical operations of the company, right? So that is how I would look, and that's what I would suggest to the leaders.